Thank you. Welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Show live here at a different book list. Resource Center, 777 to 779 Bathurst Street, right beside Honest Ed's, one of the biggest landmarks here in Toronto. And I'm so happy to be here to be part of the show. So before I get into anything else, I just want to ask you a question. What time is it?
Hot Topics!
That's right, it's time for Hot Topics. And what Hot Topics are, it's what trending on social media, it's what people are talking about when they're, around the water cooler at work. And one of the biggest things going on is the scandal in Hollywood. Have you heard about that?
Yes.
There's a lot going on. No means no, and people are putting their foot down. They're saying no to harassing women and all the violations done against women. And the latest one, I just heard in a car ride down to the center, Kevin Spacey. Remember Kevin Spacey? He's being pulled from the movie and being replaced by Christopher Plummer. Remember Christopher Plummer,
Yes.
the captain in The Sound of Music? So that must mean, like someone pointed out to me, a lot of money to replace, but they would rather do the damage control now instead of dealing with the legal issues later on of having Kevin in the picture. So that's a real warning for a lot of people and what's going on. The other thing too is November is Remembrance Day coming up, November 11th. We give homage to fallen soldiers and the men and women who are brave in World War I, World War II, and of latest mission work to protect our country. So we are very, very honored to be part of a free nation, and that has to do with all the work that was done. So November 11th, I see some people wearing their poppies to give respect to all the military personnel. So we give homage to that. The other thing going on too is the Ontario Black History Society, for which I am a proud member, and also the immediate past president. Just last week, another president was elected, and we're so happy to have Natasha Henry. Does anyone know Natasha Henry? She's a brilliant historian and educator, so she's going to be taking over with also new Vice President Shannon Oyeniran, another brilliant mind. So we're very, very happy to have them, and we're going to be working closely together to take the OBHS higher and higher to the next level. So really happy about that. So we're going to get started with the show. We've got a wonderful lineup of guests with great heart and amazing talent. So you don't want to go anywhere. You're here at the Nikki Clarke Show live at a different book list. So come right back. To the Nikki Clarke Show live here at the different book list, 779 Bathurst Street, and I am so happy to introduce a life coach. She came all the way from New Jersey to be with us here in Toronto. She is also the award-winning author of Revealing Who You Are, 7 Chapters of Complete Happiness. Please welcome Kwesha Neal to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Bonjour.
Awesome, we got your French down. Fantastic. Yes. You look lovely in red.
Thank you.
Yeah, power color.
Yes.
And I just want to say, so you drove down or you flew?
I flew.
Okay, great. And you're only staying for a few days?
For the show.
For the show?
Yes.
Okay, so you go back tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you. Well, thank you for making the trip down. It's an honor, and we have a mutual friend, Audrey Simpson Campbell.
Yes.
Who's been on the show twice.
Yes, she has.
And she mentioned, I've got a great friend, and then everything connected,
yes.
And you're here today, and that's fantastic. So tell us a little bit about your background leading up to what you're doing today as an author.
My name is Kwesha Neal, and I went to Essex County College. I studied computer programming, and later I went to Structure Network. I also studied computer software there. I traveled 5 continents I love to explore culture, people, and seeing the tenacity of great living and lifestyles. I'm also a life coach and an award-winning author. I focus on aiming my clients to win in life.
Okay. Now, when people get into certain careers, sometimes it happens accidentally. We don't always, wake up and say, I want to be this or that. When it came to becoming a life coach, was there something that transformed in your life that made you kind of navigate into that role?
Definitely. I was on a job. I was at my place of employment. I wasn't happy. Not at all. I went there. I wanted to go home. I wanted to be somewhere else. I felt like what was worth it besides a paycheck? So I did this for a couple months and I said, this is not it. Until I had a moment of crying. No, did I cry? No. I wept. I didn't cry. That way. And when you weep, it just comes out. Those are tears that comes from the heart. It comes from inside your stomach. And emotions, we live on emotions. And that's where it happened. It came out of my emotions. I went through this phase for about 6 months to a year. I came in contact with a friend in the supermarket. I told her my situation. She said, Kwesha, you need a life coach. I said, what? She said, yeah, you need a life coach. So I took some time and I pondered over it. And I said, maybe she's right.
She's got something.
Yeah, I said, maybe she's right. And I looked and I fumbled around and all of a sudden I said, I'm going to try it. And I tried it. And boy, did my life change. My fears became unfearable. I was unstoppable. I knew that my life at that time consists of abundance. I wasn't taught that. And when you're being taught abundance and ask for what you want and speak up for yourself, it's like an aha moment. Yeah. It is an aha moment. Sure. And I went through this phase, and you know what I said? If I feel this good about myself, and I can see the work that it's done for me, why not I join a life coaching program? And so I did, and I studied for 6 months because I wanted my clients to win, to be successful, and also to have fun in life. This is something we do not have, fun. So I learned to have fun with my life and learn to be a people person, to be more sincere and open up. Because at times we tend to close ourselves down to when people are trying to get close. We don't know when a person's yearning for your help. And that was the start of my life coach journey. Do I look back? No. Because your happiness and that crying I was telling you about, I no longer weep. I cry for joys for my clients. I cry for joys for myself. I do. And not too many people in life get that. They don't get that chance in life. So.
And I think that's a really good point that you brought up about having fun. I think a lot of people think that that fun is something that they can just put off and they'll get to it later. Mm-hmm. As long as they toil and they're miserable about what they're doing now, mm-hmm. The reward will be fun later. But life is really so short. We should really have the balance of mm-hmm. working and having the fun. Mm-hmm. Do you agree with that?
I agree with it. And most people are on a job or they're not doing what they like and they wasting 80,000 of work hours on something that's not fulfilling to them. Mm-hmm. And I was doing that until I found my niche.
Until you found your niche. Okay, mm-hmm. So now you're here, you're a life coach, you're transformed, and you get to the point where you're ready to write a book. So how long did that take? How long did that process take?
My process took me about a year to write my book.
Okay. So now you have Revealing Who You Are. Mm-hmm. And tell us about maybe a couple of the chapters. You've got 7 chapters of complete happiness. I think everyone is in the pursuit of happiness. But how do you get there?
First, it all starts with you. What is your wants? What is your needs? And is this is the life you really living? Is this the life you really want? If you have to get emotional with it, get emotional with it. If you have to talk about it, talk about it. But in this book here, there are 7 chapters. I love this chapter that I wrote. It said, go for it. Because no one is going to go for anything but for you. Nobody's going to go on that interview, that job you want, but you. No one is going to take your tenacity and take it to another step in life, but you. Mm-hmm.
So going forward, being fearless.
Being fearless. And in this book, I give no a new meaning.
Ah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
No is a scary word for some people.
It is.
You know, they just don't like to say it. So they would rather say an awkward yes or anything but, because there's a guilt association with no.
Right. And the secret to no is just turn it on. Reverse it. Reverse it. We don't want no's in our life. We want wins. We want yeses. We want solutions. Life is about solution and finding your niche. Finding who you are. Revealing who you are. You're bigger. You're better. Cry for tears of joy instead of tears of hurt. Mm-hmm.
Right. So how can people connect with you, Kwesha?
RevealingWhoYouAre.com. You can go to my website. And my book is also there. As well as my book is on Amazon. And on my website, I give 25 people a chance to get to know me for 15 minutes.
Okay. So one-on-one consultation?
One-on-one consultation. And that's randomly.
Okay.
So that's a good contest to be
I
in.
would think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So free contact with a life coach.
Yes.
And hash out anything the client
Yes.
is interested in.
Yes.
Well, I think that is an offer you cannot refuse.
No.
And all the information is on the website, the phone number.
Yes. And on the book as well.
Excellent. Well, I think you've got some good news for the audience. Would you like to share it now? I'll let you do the honors.
Well, everyone in the audience will be getting a free book.
All right.
Revealing Who You Are.
Thank you. So this is my copy.
That is your copy.
Fantastic, and I'll get you to sign it after. Kwesha, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you
your
very
time
much
here.
for having me.
We really appreciate all that you're doing to take people to the next level and
Yes.
helping them reveal who they really are.
Exactly.
Kwesha, Neal, everybody.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back. Thank you for joining us here, the Nikki Clarke Show. This day is a very special day because it's the author's edition. We have some wonderful authors here who have amazing collection of stories to share with you. And we have another author who hails from Trinidad and Tobago. Any Trinis in the house? All right. She has put together a book called Under the Zaboka Tree. Please welcome Glynis Guevara to the show. Thank you. So welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, you look great. You look very relaxed.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah, you look like a family member, I have to say.
Well, that's
Yeah,
great.
don't we look alike almost? So tell me now, I'm reading it, Zaboka. Zaboka, what does that mean? Does anyone know what it means? Yeah, you're nodding your heads like, get with the program, Nikki. What does it mean?
A zabuka is an avocado.
Avocado, okay. Okay, in Jamaica we call it pear.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're from Haiti, if you're from Dominica, St. Lucia, Trinidad, you will know that word zabuka.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you know that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So under the Zaboka tree.
Yes.
How did that come into fruition? When did you get together, put this idea to have a book?
Well, what happened is I used to work at a hospital as a technical writer. So I was writing other stuff, not novels.
Technical stuff.
And I got bumped from my job. And it was very traumatic because I had signed a contract to buy a townhouse and I had no job. I went home on my last day after I finished working that day, and I didn't want to be depressed. I didn't want to take antidepressants. I said, let me just sit and write about my life. So I started writing about my life, and then I couldn't stop writing. And I took a writing course at Humber College, one of those studio courses where you write and you send it off to a mentor, and the mentor will give you feedback.
Sure.
And I kept writing, and I kept writing. And Under the Zabuka Tree was the second manuscript I actually completed. So it started off with something negative happening in my life, and it transformed into a published novel.
Okay. So the burden turned into
something
blessing.
Wonderful.
And how long did it take you to write this book?
The initial draft took me about a year, but as I started working with editors, and I worked on it some more. So it took many years to actually have a finished product, but I worked on other projects after I finished that first draft.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why the title? What's the connection?
The title came about because there's a scene in the story where the protagonist, the little girl who is telling the story, she has some photos of her father and his brother that meant a whole lot to her, and it was taken under the Zabuka tree.
Okay.
So it comes from an important scene in the book.
Okay, and where does this scene play out? Is that in Trinidad?
Yes, the little girl was born in Canada, but her father moved to Trinidad. Her father was born in Trinidad, but he came here as a kid. So he moved back to Trinidad. He was a single father, and for various reasons, which I can't reveal because it's an important part of the story.
And you have to buy the book to get
it. Yes, why he chose to go to Trinidad.
Okay.
So the story is about her experiences in Trinidad as she goes there with her single father dad. She doesn't have anything about her mom, and that's an important aspect of the story because she wants to connect with her mother, and her father is not forthcoming about what happened to her mom. As well as when she gets to Trinidad, she learns new slang, she learns about new food, and also new people, getting to know new people. And her father, he's someone that is quite transient, he moves about a lot. And the little girl, through her eyes, we can learn and get the experience of how children feel when their parents move about, and they, as a kid, you have to go along with it. There isn't anything you can do. The story, she faces a lot of challenges in the story with her father, he can be a really nice man, but he's human, he's not perfect, and he makes his mistakes in the story, and she has to learn how to deal with it, and the story starts when she's 10, and she's able to grow a lot in the years inside of her. She grows up as a kid having dealt with so many difficulties. She finds a mentor when she gets to Trinidad. She starts writing poetry, and the story, what happened to her mother, is revealed in the story, and it's a story that will give a lot of people hope. Yeah, it's a story of hope.
Hope is what we all need.
Yes.
And we have to keep hope alive, definitely. So the story, does it touch on anything about the experience of children with separation of a parent?
Yes.
The anxieties that...
Yes, the anxieties of not being with her mom.
Okay.
Is a really important part of the story, because even when, she's going through good times, she's seeing her friends have their moms and she doesn't have her mom. But when she starts writing poetry and she works with her mentor, she's able to, it gives her something to focus on. But that loss for her mom remains. That loss, it's there constantly.
Fascinating.
Yes.
What lessons do you want the reader to learn in this book?
I want the readers to learn that, in life, we all face challenges. It doesn't matter if you are 10 years old, like the kid in the story,
Right.
or if you are 50 or 60 years old. We all face challenges. And in the story, people can experience the girl's, her name, as we call her in the book, her nickname was Baby Girl. So you can feel her loss in the book and her pain and her distress, and you can see how she's able to build her life and grow as a person. So it gives us that lesson. It's a story of family, a story of loss, love, and, as I said before, hope. Yes.
Where can people get a copy of the book?
The book is available at my publisher, Inanna Publications, at inanna.ca. So you can go online and you can purchase the book there. Also, you can go to any independent bookstore and ask for the book. If they don't have it in the store, ask them to order the book for you, and I'm sure they will kindly do it. You can also get the book on Amazon, in Canada, in the US, in England, all the Amazons all over the world. The book is available. Barnes & Nobles, and other online stores.
And maybe you'll find a copy under the Zabokachu.
Yes, you will find. And also, you can go on my website, www.glynisguevara.com, and you can, any questions you have, anybody wants to do any book club, and you want me to speak at your book club, I will be very happy to arrange it. If it's far away, we can do it on Skype, but I'm looking forward to hearing from people who have read the book. Now, it's a young adult book, but adults have told me they enjoyed reading it, so it's for everybody.
Awesome. And I have to say, I love the cover. And this is a very, very special and celebrated painter
Yes.
from Trinidad.
Yes,
right?
it's a Trinidadian painter, Bosco Holder. Yes, so I'm very happy with the cover.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
Just gorgeous. Well, Glynis, thank you so much for sharing the wonderful work that you're doing in the world of literature. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much
and
for
we
having
look forward
me.
to keeping in touch and letting
Yes.
us know how things are going. Glynis Guevara, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll be back.